Ever feel like the world is spinning out of control? Have you ever felt like no matter what you do, someone always finds a way to shift things to their advantage? We all have days when nothing seems to go right. It's frustrating when you try to communicate honestly, only to end up questioning yourself in the process. But what if I told you that you could stay calm and strong, no matter what happens? What if learning to recognize subtle signs of manipulation could help you regain control of your emotions and relationships? In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful signs of manipulation and explore actionable strategies to deal with them. Each step builds on the last, giving you the tools to handle manipulation with confidence and protect your peace of mind. Let's draw from the wisdom of 3 great Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. Their teachings have stood the test of time, offering guidance in the face of life's most difficult moments. These men lived through personal hardships. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire during plagues and wars, Epictetus endured slavery, and Seneca navigated political betrayal. Their philosophies weren't just theory, they were practical tools for survival. Though they lived centuries ago, their insights are surprisingly modern. In today's world, where we face toxic relationships, manipulation, and stress, their advice helps us stay balanced. The Stoics teach us that while we can't control others or our environment, we can control how we react to them, an invaluable lesson when dealing with manipulative people. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This quote serves as a reminder that no one can control us unless we let them. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This insight encourages us to remain calm and focused, even when others try to manipulate our emotions. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Seneca's wisdom reminds us not to let manipulative behavior stir unnecessary fear or anxiety in our minds. Armed with these timeless lessons, let's now explore 5 key signs of manipulation and how we can respond using these Stoic principles. Have you ever had a conversation that left you confused, wondering if you misunderstood or were misunderstood on purpose? You might walk away feeling guilty, or even think, "Did I say something wrong?" This confusion is often the first sign of subtle manipulation. When a conversation leaves you questioning yourself, take a moment to reflect on the actual words exchanged. Write them down if needed. Ask clarifying questions like, "Can you help me understand what you mean?" This forces the other person to reframe their manipulation attempts and gives you clarity. Picture yourself sitting calmly, notebook in hand, reviewing a difficult conversation. Instead of feeling lost, you now have clarity and direction, ready to take back control. I know it feels strange to write down conversations, but it's a powerful tool. Once you see the patterns, you'll never be blindsided again. Now that we've discussed spotting manipulation, let's explore what to do when someone tries to twist your emotions. Ever felt bad for simply saying no? Like your refusal wasn't just a decision, but a personal betrayal. Manipulative people thrive on guilt, making you feel responsible for their happiness or their disappointment. The next time someone tries to guilt you, pause and ask yourself, am I responsible for how they feel? The answer is almost always no. Use boundary-setting phrases like, "I understand how you feel, but this is what's best for me." This communicates empathy without compromising your limits. Imagine standing firm like a lighthouse in a storm. No matter how hard the waves crash, you remain unshaken, calm, and grounded. It's not selfish to say no. In fact, healthy boundaries strengthen relationships and protect your peace. Now that we've tackled guilt, let's move on to the next challenge, dealing with conditional praise. Ever noticed how some people are only nice when they want something from you? They'll tell you how amazing you are, but the moment you don't meet their expectations, the compliments stop and the cold shoulder begins. The next time you notice a pattern of conditional praise, remind yourself, my worth isn't determined by anyone's approval. Respond with assertive statements like, "Thank you, but I'm not available to help with that right now." This communicates appreciation while reinforcing your boundaries. Picture yourself standing tall, unaffected by changing opinions. Whether you receive praise or silence, your sense of worth remains steady and secure. It can be uncomfortable at first, but learning to detach from others' approval will free you from the emotional roller coaster of conditional praise. With this new sense of independence, let's move on to a more serious tactic: manipulation through isolation. Have you ever felt like someone in your life slowly pulls you away from your friends and family, leaving you emotionally dependent on them? This kind of manipulation happens gradually at first. They discourage you from hanging out with certain people, then slowly become the only person you rely on. Recognize the isolation by asking yourself, have my social connections dwindled because of someone's influence? Awareness is the first step to breaking free. Rebuild your network by reaching out to friends and family. Say, hey, I'd love to catch up soon. Let's set a time. Simple efforts like these reconnect you with your support system. Imagine reconnecting with an old friend over coffee, feeling joy and relief as you rebuild meaningful connections. It's okay if you've drifted apart from others, it happens. What matters is that you take the first step to reconnect. Now that we've discussed isolation, let's move to our final and most important topic: how to reclaim your emotional space. Do you ever feel like your emotions are constantly hijacked by other people's behavior? It's exhausting when you feel responsible for how others act, leaving you drained and disconnected from your own needs. When someone's behavior affects you emotionally, ask yourself, is this really about me? Or is it their issue? This helps you detach from unnecessary emotional burdens. Practice self-care by taking 5 minutes each day to reflect on your thoughts and emotions. Journaling or quiet meditation helps you stay connected with yourself. Imagine sitting in a peaceful space, pen in hand, reflecting on your day. You feel lighter, knowing that other people's emotions no longer control yours. It might feel selfish at first, but self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary for maintaining your emotional well-being. Now that you've learned to recognize manipulation and protect your peace, let's wrap up with a quick summary of everything we've covered today. What's the biggest source of stress in your life right now? Do you ever feel like you're constantly giving, but rarely getting anything in return? Who in your life makes you question your decisions the most? How do you feel after interacting with them? Are you saying yes to things you secretly wish you could decline? Encourage the audience to pause and think deeply. Taking a moment to reflect helps you understand what's really draining your energy. Awareness is the first step toward making meaningful change. Use a conversational, guiding tone. You don't need to have all the answers right now. Just bringing these thoughts to light can be powerful. It's okay to feel overwhelmed. Sometimes you're not alone in this. You're doing your best, even if it doesn't always feel like it. Your feelings are valid. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. We all have moments when we doubt ourselves, especially when others make us feel small. But remember, you are stronger than you think. Setting boundaries is tough, especially when people close to us don't respect them. But you are allowed to protect your peace. You don't have to solve everything today. One small step toward change is still progress. Every time you say no to someone else, you're saying yes to yourself, and that's something to be proud of. You can't pour from an empty cup. And if you don't prioritize yourself, you'll run out of energy to give to others. Imagine feeling free from guilt and manipulation, like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders. How different would your life look? Think about the relationships in your life. Which ones uplift you and which ones leave you drained? Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you take care of your mind and heart, you show up better for the people you love. You deserve relationships that nurture your growth, not ones that stifle it. Choose to surround yourself with people who celebrate your boundaries. It's never too late to make a change. Every small action you take today builds toward a healthier tomorrow. Even if you've struggled with manipulation in the past, you have the power to change how you respond from this moment forward. What's one relationship in your life where you need to set clearer boundaries? When was the last time you said no to something that didn't serve you? What's one thing you can do tomorrow to protect your peace? Remember, growth is not about perfection, it's about progress. Be kind to yourself as you learn and grow. Even if you don't have all the answers yet, trust that you're on the right path. You have the power to say no without guilt and to reclaim your time and energy for what truly matters. No one else is responsible for your peace of mind. That's a gift you give yourself. Every time you recognize manipulation and choose to respond differently, you're taking a powerful step toward emotional freedom. Don't forget to celebrate the small wins. They add up to big changes over time. You've reflected on your experiences and recognized the signs of manipulation. Now it's time to take the next step. You've got this. Each time you set a boundary or say no without guilt, you're creating the life you deserve. Write down conversations that leave you feeling uneasy to spot patterns over time. Seeing things on paper brings clarity. Next time someone says something that feels off, calmly ask, Can you explain what you mean by that this disrupts manipulation attempts? Remind yourself I am allowed to question what doesn't feel right. Set a reminder to review your journal once a week. Reflection helps you become more attuned to subtle manipulation. Take 5 minutes tonight to write down one conversation that didn't sit well with you. Whenever someone tries to make you feel guilty, pause for 5 seconds and ask yourself, am I responsible for their happiness? Try saying, I understand how you feel, but I need to take care of myself too. This conveys empathy while setting limits. After setting a boundary, reflect on how it felt. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. It's okay if setting boundaries feels uncomfortable at first. Keep practicing each no you say as a step toward emotional freedom. Tomorrow, say no to one small thing that doesn't serve your well-being. The next time someone offers praise, ask yourself, would I still feel good about this choice if they didn't compliment me? When the compliments stop, remind yourself their approval is not a reflection of my worth. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're proud of, regardless of others' opinions. Self-validation takes practice, but over time you'll rely less on others for approval. Tonight, write down 3 things you did today that made you proud. Reach out to one friend or family member you've lost touch with. Start with a simple message, hey, I've been thinking about you, let's catch up soon. Schedule regular time to connect with supportive people, even if it's just a 15-minute call. Find a local group or online community aligned with your interests to rebuild your social network. Relationships grow with consistent effort. Small check-ins over time build meaningful connections. Right now, send a quick message to someone you care about. Reconnection starts with a single text. Spend 5 minutes each morning sitting quietly and focusing on your breath. This anchors your emotions for the day. At the end of the day, write down one thing that affected your emotions and how you responded. This builds awareness. Choose an affirmation like, I am responsible for my peace, and repeat it whenever you feel overwhelmed. Inner peace isn't achieved in a day, it's the result of small, consistent habits that ground you in the present. Take 5 minutes tonight to reflect on one moment today that challenged your peace and how you can respond differently next time. The more you practice these small steps, whether it's setting boundaries or reconnecting with loved ones, the easier they become. Remember, growth is a journey, not a race. Even small progress is worth celebrating. You don't need to do everything perfectly. What matters is that you show up for yourself every day in small ways. Consistency is the key. A single step repeated daily builds momentum toward lasting change. Acknowledge your efforts, no matter how small. Whether you journaled your emotions or said no today, every action matters. These small wins compound over time, creating a life of emotional freedom and peace. Now that you've learned these practical steps, it's time to put them into action. Start small, stay consistent, and trust the process. You've got this. What's one step you can take right now to reclaim your emotional space? Write it down and commit to it today. The fact that you've come this far shows that you're ready to take control of your life. Even if it felt challenging, every boundary you set and every toxic pattern you recognized is a step toward emotional freedom. Every time you pause to reflect on your feelings, every no you say, and every reconnection with someone you love brings you closer to the life you deserve. These may seem like small steps, but they're powerful. They show that you're no longer willing to let manipulation control your life. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but every small step brings you closer to becoming the best version of yourself. The shift may feel gradual, but it's happening one moment at a time, one choice at a time. Picture yourself a few months from now calm, grounded, and confident in your ability to handle difficult people and situations. Imagine waking up each day with a sense of peace, knowing that you've built a life on your terms, free from the grip of manipulation. Change doesn't require perfection, just consistency. Even small actions done every day can lead to profound transformation over time. Some days may feel harder than others, but that's okay, it's all part of the process. You've already started the journey, and that's the hardest part. From here, it's about continuing, one step at a time. Each choice to prioritize your well-being, no matter how small, strengthens your emotional resilience. You're just getting started. Imagine what's possible if you keep going, how different your life will look in 6 months or a year. Every step forward builds momentum, and with time, those small steps will become second nature. You've taken back control today, but there's more to explore. Relationships, peace of mind, and emotional freedom each day brings new opportunities to grow. Your life is shaped by what you allow and what you cut out. Take charge, set your boundaries, and the rest will follow. The power to protect your peace and reclaim your happiness lies within you. It all starts with the choices you make today. You've already begun the journey, now it's time to keep moving forward, one step at a time. If you're ready to dive deeper, check out the next video on mastering emotional detachment. It will change the way you approach every relationship. Emotional detachment doesn't mean cutting people off, it means learning how to love and support others without losing yourself. And if you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button so you never miss out on future insights to help you grow and thrive. Tap the notification bell so you're the first to know when new content drops. Your journey to emotional freedom has only just begun. Share this video with someone who might need it, they'll thank you later. Your peace and happiness are in your hands. Start small, stay consistent, and trust that every step forward matters. We're in this journey together. See you in the next video.